Before we start today, I need you to do something. I need you to sit down, because the numbers I am about to read you are going to change how you see everything that has happened since the World Cup final. Paredes, 3 counts of assault, minimum 3 matches per count. That is 9 matches minimum. 9. From international football, potentially including the 2030 World Cup. Molina, 2 counts of assault, 1 count of unsporting behavior, minimum 6 matches, potentially more. Ayala, 1 count of assault, the assistant coach, the man who was supposed to be keeping Argentina's players calm, charged with assault himself. Almada, unsporting behavior, minimum 1 match, and the Argentine Football Association itself, charged separately, for discriminatory chants, for the Falklands banner, for object throwing, for security breaches, for multiple protocol violations across multiple matches. Gianni Infantino wrote them a letter calling all of this professional, and now his own disciplinary committee has charged them with assault. Today on Robert's Football Talk, we are doing something different. We are not just breaking this down, we are asking the questions. Every question this community needs answered. About the charges, about the players, about their careers, about whether any of them should continue at this level, and we want your answers in the comments right now as you watch. Welcome back. I am your host. Subscribe right now if you are not already here. This is the most interactive breakdown we have ever done. Let us go. Question 1. Paredes. 9 matches minimum. Is his Argentina career effectively over? Let me give you the facts first. FIFA's disciplinary code is explicit. Any act of aggression against an opponent or any other person who is not a match official carries a minimum suspension of 3 matches for each offense. Paredes has been charged with 3 separate counts of aggression. 3. The Garcia throat grab, the Gavi wrestling incident, and a 3rd count relating to the broader confrontation. 3 counts. 3 matches minimum per count. 9 matches minimum from international football. beIN Sports confirmed it directly. Paredes is facing the possibility of one of the toughest individual sanctions to come out of any tournament in recent memory. And here is the calculation that determines whether those 9 matches effectively end his Argentina career. Paredes is 32 years old. The 2030 World Cup qualifiers begin in 2028. If the bans are served across CONMEBOL qualifying matches, he could be unavailable for Argentina during the critical qualifying period. If any of the bans extend into the 2030 World Cup itself, a 32-year-old player serving bans from 2026 may simply not be in Argentina's plans by the time he is eligible again. Now here is your first question for the comments. Paredes grabbed Garcia by the throat, wrestled Gavi to the ground, was charged with 3 counts of assault by FIFA. Given all of that, should his Argentina career be over regardless of what FIFA decide? Should Scaloni simply not select him again? Drop your answer right now, yes or no, and tell me why. Subscribe to Robert's Football Talk right now, because question 2 is the one that is dividing football fans everywhere. Question 2. Molina punched Rodri. 2 counts of assault. Should he still be at his club? Nahuel Molina. Right back. 2 counts of assault. 1 completed. 1 attempted. Against Rodri, Spain's captain. The man who had just won the World Cup. Running toward his celebrating teammates. Molina swung at him. On camera. On BBC broadcast footage. In front of 82,000 people in the stadium. And hundreds of millions watching at home. Yahoo Sports noted that Molina was not sent off by the referee at the time. He did not receive a card on the pitch, which means FIFA had to go back and charge him retrospectively based on the footage, based on what the cameras captured, based on what millions of people watched in real time and could not believe they were seeing. 2 counts of assault, minimum 6 matches from international football, potentially more given that the completed punch was captured from multiple camera angles with no ambiguity about what happened. And here is the question that Atletico Madrid fans and Argentina fans need to sit with. If Molina had punched another player in a La Liga match with that same force and that same intent, and it had been caught on that many camera angles, would he still be at his club? Would he still be playing at the highest level? Your question for the comments. Does Molina still deserve to represent Argentina at the 2030 World Cup, even if he serves the ban and becomes eligible again? Or should some acts at this level of the sport result in a permanent end to international football, regardless of the technical punishment? Drop your answer. And I want to hear from Atletico Madrid fans specifically. Part 2. The players who have careers to protect. The ones who should be asking different questions right now. Almada, 23 years old, unsporting behavior charge, 1 count, minimum 1 match ban. And here is the thing about Almada that none of the coverage is saying directly. He is 23. He has an entire career ahead of him. He is already being discussed as one of the most exciting young midfielders in South American football. He has talent that in a different context, without the BRAWL footage, without the charges, would be generating transfer links to the biggest clubs in Europe. Right now, he is generating FIFA disciplinary proceedings. And the question for Almada is not just about the punishment FIFA hands down. It is about what comes next, and whether he understands the damage he has done to his own trajectory. Because at 23, you should be building a career, not defending your conduct in disciplinary hearings. Question 3. Almada, 23 years old. FIFA charge on his record before he even properly establishes himself at the highest level. Does this permanently damage his career prospects in Europe? Or will European clubs look past it because his talent outweighs the controversy? Drop your answer. I want to hear from European football fans specifically. Would your club sign Almada knowing he has a FIFA assault charge on his record from a World Cup final? Subscribe to Robert's Football Talk right now, because the next question is the one that involves the man at the top. Part 3. The Infantino question. The one everyone is asking. Question 4. Infantino called Argentina professional in a letter. His own committee charged them with assault. Can he survive this contradiction? Let me lay out the timeline that makes this the most important question in football governance right now. July 19th. Final whistle. Spain win. Brawl starts immediately. Paredes grabs Garcia. Molina punches Rodri. FIFA's own disciplinary and ethics prosecutor is appointed to investigate. July 20th. The morning after. Infantino writes to Claudio Tapia. Please send my sincere congratulations to all who contributed to this magnificent result. To the players, with all my friendship, Gianni Infantino. The players, the same players his own prosecutor was already investigating for assault. He specifically congratulated them, by name, as a group, the day after the investigation opened, and then 2 weeks later, the formal charges. Assault, 3 counts against Paredes, 2 counts against Molina, aggression against Ayala, unsporting behavior against Almada. Those are not compatible things. Praising the professional conduct of players your own organization, then charges with assault, is not a gray area. It is a documented contradiction that exists in writing, published on Argentina's Federation website, verified by the Daily Mail and Sports Illustrated, and now sitting alongside the formal charge sheet from FIFA's own disciplinary committee. Your question. Should FIFA require Infantino to recuse himself from any involvement in the disciplinary process against Argentina, given that he already expressed his personal view of their conduct in writing before the charges were filed? Yes or no? And tell me what you think happens to his presidency if he does not. Drop it in the comments. This is the most important question in this entire video. Part 4. The career question. Should these players continue at the highest level? Now I want to ask the question that most football coverage refuses to ask directly, because it is uncomfortable, because it involves real people and real careers and real livelihoods. But it needs to be asked. Question 5. Should Paredes, Molina, and Ayala be given the opportunity to continue representing Argentina at the international level after serving any ban? Or do their actions at a World Cup final cross a line that bans alone do not address? Let me give you both sides honestly. The case for allowing them to continue after the ban. Bans exist precisely to serve as the punishment. If the process runs correctly and they serve the required matches, they have completed the punishment their actions warranted. Stopping them from ever representing Argentina again beyond the ban would be double punishment, double jeopardy, and other players in football history have committed acts of violence and returned to play at the highest level after serving bans. The case for a permanent end to their international careers. What happened at the World Cup final was not a reckless tackle in a moment of competitive heat. It was a deliberate physical assault on opposing players after a match had ended, after the trophy had been decided. against players who were celebrating a legitimate victory. Paredes grabbed a man by the throat. Molina punched the opposing captain. Ayala, the assistant coach charged with managing Argentina's players, was himself involved in an assault. These are not errors of judgment in competitive play. These are choices made by men who decided to respond to losing with physical violence. Your question. After serving the bans, do these players deserve to represent Argentina again, or is playing for your country a privilege that requires conduct consistent with representing a nation, and these players forfeited that privilege in New Jersey? Drop your answer. Both sides. I want the full debate in the comments on this one. Subscribe to Robert's Football Talk now. One final question, the most personal one. Question 6. To Argentina fans, the hardest question. I want to speak directly to every Argentina fan watching this video right now, because you are the ones who feel this most directly. You are the ones who watch these players represent your country. Who cheered them through 6 matches? Who felt the World Cup final loss as something personal and painful? And now those same players are charged with assault by FIFA. The same brawl, the same images, the same footage that the entire world saw and called disgraceful. And Messi is gone from international football. Or if not gone, then reduced. At 39 years old, he will not be the centerpiece of what Argentina builds next. The post-Messi era has to start now, with players who represent something that honors the legacy he built across 6 World Cups and a trophy lifted in Qatar. Your question. As an Argentina fan, do you want Paredes and Molina back in the squad after their bans? Or do you believe the rebuilding of Argentina's national team should begin with players who did not grab opponents by the throat after a World Cup final? This is the most important question for Argentine football right now. And I want Argentine voices in the comments specifically. Tell me where you stand. That is the breakdown. 6 questions. Real facts, real charges, real consequences. Now I want 6 real answers from you. Number them in the comments, 1 through 6. Give me your take on each one. Question 1. Should Paredes' Argentina career be over regardless of the FIFA ban? Question 2. Does Molina deserve to play international football again after the Rodri punch? Question 3. Does Almada's career in Europe survive a FIFA unsporting behavior charge at 23? Question 4. Should Infantino recuse himself from the disciplinary process given the friendship letter? Question 5. After serving bans, do these players deserve to represent Argentina again? Question 6. Argentina fans only. Do you want them back? Drop all 6 answers below. Number them. Be honest, be direct, and subscribe to Robert's Football Talk if you are not already here, because this is the channel that asks the questions nobody else will. New videos every single week. Hit that like button, share this immediately. I will see you in the next one.